Stand up. Yeah, stand up.
Okay. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is June the 2nd, 2022. The time is 10:31 a.m. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. I am Judge Daniel Nagel. Before we begin the hearing, I need everyone to do a couple things for me. Number one is I need everyone to please raise your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence or statement that you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can say, I do.
I do.
All right, you may put your hand down. This morning is an informative hearing. It is not going to be an evidentiary hearing. And what I mean by that is this: I'm going to speak with each one of you individually. We are going to go over a couple of things. We are going to go over your charges. We're going to go over if any charges are being dismissed. We're going to go over whether those charges are misdemeanors or felonies. We're then going to go over bond amounts if a bond is being set. Some of you may have special conditions of your bond. The most common types of special conditions are a stay away provision from a certain person, a no violent contact provision, and a stay away from a certain location. I will address each one of those with you on an individual basis, okay? But it's very important that you take note of your special conditions, because if you violate your bond, you could end up back at the Clayton County Jail facing more charges, potentially more severe charges, and not getting a bond on those. So it's very important that you listen to the special conditions. You will receive a copy of your paperwork and it will be written down for you, but it's important for you to know what your bond is going to be and if there are any conditions attached to it. We will then go over your next court date, whether that's a preliminary hearing or potentially an arraignment. If you bond out of jail, you do not have to attend your preliminary hearing court date. Okay. If you're still in the Clayton County Jail, by the time your preliminary hearing court date arrives, you will have an opportunity to speak with your lawyer, either one that you choose to hire or one that is appointed to you, and they can negotiate your case further, or they can negotiate a possible bond reduction or a bond modification. Today is not a time for you to tell me why you are falsely arrested, why the police officers have it wrong, why the witnesses are lying, or any other defense that you may have. This is being live streamed on YouTube. So anything that you say can and may be used against you later on down the road, because the prosecution does have access to this if they choose to go back and watch it. So please do yourself a favor and do not talk to me about the facts of your specific case. All right. You still have all your constitutional rights. You have the right for an attorney. And if you cannot afford one, then I will be happy to appoint one for you. All of you were given the paperwork to apply for court-appointed counsel. If you did not fill it out, if you refuse to do so, then I can only assume that you want to hire your own attorney. If later on down the road that you decide that you want to have a court-appointed attorney, you can then go through the steps to do so. And if you change your mind. Likewise, if you applied for a court-appointed attorney and later on down the road you want to hire your own attorney, you can also go and do that. Just make sure that they know to file the correct paperwork with the court, so that the prosecutor's office in the court knows that you're going to be represented by an attorney. All right. Again, I'm going to allow you to ask a question at the end of when I'm done giving you the information that I need to give you. However, the questions that you should be asking are pretty much limited to: what are my charges? When is my next court date? What is my bond? And do I have any special conditions of my bond? If you have any other type of question, I'm probably not going to be able to help you. I don't control how quickly paperwork is processed. I don't know what bonding company you can use, should use, or would want to use. I don't know the steps to that. The only thing that I can tell you is that typically if you pay a bond, it's somewhere around 50. If you go through a bonding company, it's somewhere between 15 and 20%. Or you can have yourself or a friend or a loved one go directly to the sheriff's office and they can deal with them on getting you bonded out if you have a bond. So if it goes beyond your next court date, your charges or your special conditions, I'm probably not going to be able to answer your question. And you probably don't want to ask me that question because, again, anything that you say could potentially be used against you. So if the paperwork will be submitted shortly after the hearing concludes. If there are charges that are going to be dismissed against you, it doesn't mean that they're going to be dismissed forever. The prosecutor's office could choose to bring charges back. If a charge or a case is being dismissed against you, it merely means that I did not have enough evidence to proceed with the charges against you. What the DA's office or the solicitor's office does later on down the road, I can't control it. Maybe there's more evidence, maybe not. I don't know. But I have to make my decision based on the evidence that's in front of me. So some of you may have some or all of your charges dismissed, but just understand that if law enforcement chooses to either reinvestigate or resubmit more evidence, that those charges may come back. I'm not saying that they will, I'm just saying that they could. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get Mr. Elroy John, and then we'll do the females after him. All right, sir, can you please tell me your full name, please?
Elroy Leon John.
All right, Mr. John, it's my understanding that you're represented by Mr. Thomas Florio. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Florio, he is charged with 1 count of aggravated battery and 1 count of burglary. Is there anything that you want to say on his behalf?
Yes, Your Honor. Previously, earlier this morning, Judge, we submitted as an exhibit a Georgia lease agreement at Arbor Gardens Apartments. Your Honor, this would be the address where police allege that this aggravated battery occurred. For the court's record, Mr. Elroy Leon John is identified as a leaseholder at the unit where this alleged incident occurred. And I know the court, as a former prosecutor and defense attorney, is extremely familiar with the burglary statute. But the burglary statute, Your Honor, does say a person commits the offense of burglary in the first degree when without authority and with the intent to commit a felony. And so I don't think we get past the first prong of the without authority when Mr. John is alleged to have committed a crime inside of his own apartment. Your Honor, we would ask that the court dismiss the burglary warrant against Mr. John. As far as the aggravated battery goes, Mr. John and I have already begun to develop defenses for that. I think that the warrant is legally sufficient to get past today's hearing, although I think Mr. John and I both agree that we have great defenses for beating this case in the near future. But I don't think that there's enough evidence this morning for the burglary warrant to stand, and we would respectfully ask that the burglary warrant be dismissed. With respect to bond, Your Honor, Mr. John has minimal criminal history. This is his first and only felony arrest in life. I think the totality of his criminal history, maybe 1 prior misdemeanor for a DUI. He's lived in the Atlanta area for 25 years now. He has 3 children, all of whom reside with him in Clayton County. He is a lawful U.S. citizen. He has a work permit to be in the United States. While he's not a U.S. citizen, he is lawfully here in the United States. And so we would ask that bond be set in this matter in the court's discretion.
All right, Mr. Florio, does your client still reside at that address?
Judge, he does. We understand, and he and I have talked about the fact that there will more than likely be a condition of his bond that he not return to that address, which is fine. He also, Judge, has actually taken steps to terminate his lease. And so we have, in full candor, Judge, he has no plans on returning back to the incident location. But we expect that that'll be a condition of his bond.
Okay. Mr. Florio, do you know if the alleged victim in this case still stays at that residence as well?
I don't believe so, Judge. I think the allegation is that Mr. John came home and found his fiance in bed with another man. There was a mutual hand-to-hand combat between Mr. John and the alleged victim, the other man. And the allegation is that Mr. John fell on the other man and the other man's leg was broken. So he is not a resident of that home. He has no lawful right to be inside that home.
Okay. Mr. John, do you have a place that you can say that's not the address of where this took place?
Yes. This one.
Okay. Okay. All right. And does the woman involved, does she still live at that apartment complex?
Yes, Your Honor, I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. John, I did receive the paperwork that Mr. Florio sent over, and I will say that barring that, there would have been enough evidence to have both charges kept. But if I look at the statute, you can't burglarize your own house or your own place where you're legally entitled to be. So, but for that, I would have kept both charges. But given the evidence that Mr. Florio has, I will grant the request and dismiss the burglary charge. As I stated earlier, it doesn't mean that the state can't later on go, if they have other information, I don't know what it could be, that they could either indict or accuse that charge, but I don't have enough evidence to continue that particular charge. Now, as it relates to the aggravated battery, I will set a bond on that particular charge. The bond amount is going to be $5,000. Okay. There are going to be special conditions of your bond. So I know that Mr. Florio will go over this. It's in the paperwork itself, but I want you to pay attention. You are not to have any contact with Brian Goodwin. Now, is that somebody that you know, or is that just like a random person to you?
No, I don't know him.
Okay, good. Well, as far as it goes, continue to not know him, and that person doesn't exist in your life as long as this bond condition is in place. That means you can't make contact, telephone, computer, Skype, Twitter, smoke signal, carrier pigeon, whatever method that you think that you could be slick and have contact. Please don't do it, because you could end up with more charges here and without a bond. Okay. And that includes talking to the female and having her pass along messages and things like that. So this person does not exist in your life until your case is resolved or this bond is modified. Also, you know, it's difficult because that is your place, but you do have another place to go and stay. And so I think it's best to just not return to that location. So do you have any belongings that you need to get from that location, sir?
No, I already had to get all my stuff out. Okay,
perfect. Well, then there's no reason for you to be over there. Okay. So just don't go back to that location, 5503 Riverdale Road, apartment 3D. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Your next court date is going to be June the 13th for a preliminary hearing. If you bond out, then you do not have to attend that court date. And since you have Mr. Florio, I'm sure he'll keep you apprised of when your next court date is going to be. Do you have any, Mr. John, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Florio, anything else for you, sir?
No, sir, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, then I will draft the order dismissing that one particular charge and submit the bond paperwork to the Sheriff's Department shortly after the conclusion of this hearing.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Mr. John. Good luck to you. Mr. Florio, if that's it, then we'll see you later, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a good day, sir.
All right. You too. We can start with the females. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please?
Mia Imani Cabell.
All right. Give me just one moment, please. All right. Ms. Cabell, you are charged with 1 count of criminal damage in the 2nd degree. Hold on one moment. Your paperwork here. Hold on one moment. All right. Well, Mr. Bell, give me 1 second. I'm trying to find your paperwork. If not, I have to reprint it. Okay. Give me 1 moment. I'm going to go over a couple things with you while that's pending. Okay. So your bond in this case, oh, here we go. It's just 1 page. All right. Your bond is $2,500. All right. You're not to have any contact with Ryan Brown. Who is that to you?
My baby's father.
Okay. All right. Do you guys live at the same address?
No.
Okay. The address of 6668 Building J, apartment 113. Who's actually, what's the address of where you live?
Just the address.
What's the name of the road?
Mount Zion.
Mount Zion. Okay, got it. All right, but he does not live there?
No.
Okay, all right. So because he doesn't live there, I don't need you to stay away from that incident location, okay? But just do not have any contact with him. That means in person or via telephone or internet or any other way that you could think of. So as of right now, until your case is resolved or this bond order is changed, Mr. Ryan Brown doesn't exist in your life, okay? You can still have contact with family members and things like that, but just not him. So don't pass any messages along to anybody else to tell him something on your behalf, okay? Your next court date is going to be June the 13th, all right? If you bond out, you do not have to go to that court date, all right? If you do bond out, then you'll have an opportunity to speak with a lawyer and they can negotiate your case further, or they can request that your bond be modified or lowered, okay? You did fill out your court-appointed paperwork. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
For you to appoint myself.
Okay, then I am going to do that. If you change your mind, that's fine later on down the road. Let's see. Do you have any questions about your case?
How much you said the bond was again?
$2,500.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you.
Garcia.
Tell me your name, please.
Elizabeth Olivares Garcia.
All right, Ms. Garcia, you were charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Based on the information that I have in front of me, I'm going to dismiss this case against you, okay? It doesn't mean that later on down the road that law enforcement, they can do more investigation or provide more evidence for another judge, but I don't have enough to keep you on this. So I'm going to dismiss the case against you. Do you have any questions?
None whatsoever.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. That's it.
I agree.
All right, ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Tatiana Green.
All right, Ms. Green, give me just 1 moment. All right, Ms. Green, you are charged with several charges. The more serious ones are felonies. So I'm going to go over each charge and what their bond amount is, okay? So for the no license, your bond is $1,000. That's a misdemeanor. For violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, the bond is $2,500. The other count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, the bond is $2,500. Financial transaction card theft is $2,000. And then all three counts of identity fraud, the bond is $2,000. So your total bond is $14,000. That's your total bond, okay? $14,000. Your next court date is going to be June the 13th at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. That is your preliminary hearing date. If you are bond out, then you don't have to attend that court date. If you're not bonded out, you'll have an opportunity to speak with a lawyer, and then they can negotiate your case further, or they can try to work out a bond reduction or a bond modification. Now, you did not fill out your paperwork for the bond for the court appointed counsel. So do you want to hire your own attorney?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I will let you hire your own attorney. Do you have any other questions?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
One of the charges, the transaction card fraud. I'm not sure how to say it.
Sure.
The financial transaction on cards.
Okay.
The man that came and retrieved the vehicle and my child who I had to release to, they didn't ask me. That was the driver who, okay, I didn't have a license. So of course the vehicle that I was driving, it was his cards in my purse. It was my significant other's.
Got it.
He was to say that and retrieve his cards, which was his food stamp card and his identification.
Hey, Ms. Green, let me help you out, okay? I want you to understand something. Now is not the time to go over your defenses, okay? If you have defenses to the case, then you tell those to the lawyer. You don't announce it to me and announce it to the world that's being broadcast, okay? And I tell you that with respect, but I want to make sure that you protect yourself. So if you have defenses, and it sounds like you do, then let those be known to an attorney, okay? And then they can tell the state what your defenses are and use that to negotiate on your behalf, okay? Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions? All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Green. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. No, you said you were going to hire an attorney. Very good. You've got your bond, and you'll get a copy of your bond paperwork. All right. So, all right. Good luck.
Lagunas.
All right. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Yes, it's Kirsten Brooke Lagunas.
All right, Ms. Lagunas, you are charged with 3 counts. The first count being obstruction of an officer, second one being simple battery, and the other one is public intoxication. They're all misdemeanor charges. I am going to dismiss the public intoxication charge against you, just like I told everybody else. Later on down the road, that charge may reappear. It may not. I'm not sure. But I don't have enough evidence in front of me for that charge to move forward, okay? For the other 2 charges, your bond is $1,000 each. The only other thing is don't violate the laws while you're out on bond, okay? Your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out, you do not have to attend that court date, all right? If you are still here in the Clayton County Jail, then you will have an opportunity to speak with an attorney, and they can either negotiate your case further or ask for your bond to be reduced or modified. Now, do you want to have me appoint an attorney for you, or do you want to hire your own?
If you can appoint one for me.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I will do that. All right. Again, your bond amount is $2,000. I'm dismissing one of the charges against you. Do you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, can you tell me your full name, please?
Sadie Ryan.
Okay, I have Presley. Give me just a moment. All right, Ms. Rhines, you are charged with 1 count of simple battery. That is a misdemeanor, okay? I am going to grant a bond in this case. The bond amount is going to be $4,000, okay? Now, you do have special conditions as part of your bond. You are to not have any violent contact with Kendra Hamilton. Who is Kendra Hamilton to you?
My stepmother.
Your what?
My stepmother.
Okay, so it looks here like you're 18 years old. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I imagine being 18 years old, there's a lot of things that you'd rather be doing than being at the Clayton County Jail and appearing in a court appearance like this. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. So when I say no violent contact, what that means is no yelling, screaming, cussing, moving your body in a threatening manner, anything that would cause your stepmother to think that you are going to act in a violent way. Okay. Typically in cases like this, it would typically result in me not allowing you to have any contact and kicking you out of that residence. However, you are 18 and it is your stepmother, and I understand that things can get heated between parents and children and stepchildren and things of that nature. So it's not lost on me, but this is not the place for you to start at 18 years old. Do you understand? Okay, so your bond is $4,000. Do not have any violent contact with Ms. Hamilton. If you bond out of jail, your court date of June the 14th is your preliminary hearing. You won't have to go to that, okay? If you do not bond out, then on the 14th, you'll be able to speak with an attorney and they can negotiate your case further, or they can ask to modify or change your bond. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I want you to appoint one.
Okay, all right. I will do that for you. Do you have any other questions? You have to speak up.
No, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Good luck to you.
Presley.
Presley? Yes.
You're
ready. Oh, I thought she said you. Can I move?
All right, can you tell me your full name, please?
Jamila Presley.
All right, Ms. Presley, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. The bond is going to be $3,000, okay? You're to have no violent contact with Earlene Presley. Who is that to you?
Mama.
That's your mother?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and just like I told the young lady, you're older than 18, correct?
I am.
And whether you're 18 or your age, I imagine that the Clayton County Jail is not a place that you want to frequent very often, correct?
No, sir.
Right. And so I understand that things with family can get heated and people can lose their temper, but at the same time, you have to handle yourself as an adult. There are laws that you have to abide by. And if things get out of hand, you can end up in a situation like you find yourself right now. And, you know, looking at everything that I've seen, this is not the place for you, Miss Presley. You know, you are a grown woman. And so I don't want you to have any violent contact with your mother. That means no yelling, no screaming, no acting in a way that she would think that you are going to commit an act of violence or lose your cool. Do you understand?
What if she is violent with me? Because
I'm sorry?
What if she is violent with me?
Well, then there are laws that protect you. But that doesn't mean that if you think that that's a risk of happening, then you probably shouldn't go back there.
It's my
Okay.
house.
Listen, the restriction is on you. It's not on her. Okay. Now, whether that's fair in your opinion or not, you're the one before me, not her. So if you think that that's going to be an issue, then either you need to remove yourself from the situation, because if you get in another incident with your mother or anybody else, it's very likely you're not going to get a bond at all, and you're going to be there for a very long time. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Right. So all the conditions are on you and nobody else. So you have to govern yourself accordingly. Your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out of jail, you do not need to appear for that court date. If you're still at the Clayton County Jail, you have an opportunity to speak with an attorney and they can negotiate your case further or ask for a bond modification. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Appoint one, please.
Okay. All right, I'm going to do so. Do you have any questions?
No, Judge.
Okay, all right, well, good luck to you. Ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please?
Melissa Nicole Stallings.
All right, Miss Stallings. You are charged with 4 counts initially. One of them is a theft by receiving stolen property, 2 violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act charges, and then 1 misdemeanor count of possession or use of a drug-related object. I am dismissing the theft by receiving stolen property charge against you. Just like I've said before, it doesn't mean that that charge is going to be dismissed forever. They could reopen the investigation and later on that charge may come back. I don't know whether it will or not, but based on the evidence I have in front of me, I don't have enough evidence to move that particular charge forward. So that charge is going to get dismissed. However, the other charges on both violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act charges, your bond is $2,500. And on the misdemeanor use or possession of a drug-related object, your bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $6,000. Okay. Now, I understand that there are other people that were arrested in this incident. I would strongly encourage you not to have any contact with your co-defendants. It's not a condition of your bond, but you know, I don't know.
He had nothing to do with anything that was in the truck.
Don't tell me anything. I don't want to know about the facts of the case. I'm just letting you know. All right. Your next court date is going to be June 13th. If you bond out of jail, then you do not have to appear for that court date. If you are still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney and they can negotiate your case further or ask for a bond modification. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Appointment for me.
Okay. I will do that. Do you have any other questions?
No.
All right. Good luck to you.
Am I good? Am I good to go, sir?
Yes, you're good to go. All right, can you tell me your full name, please?
Kishonda Stewart.
All right, Ms. Stewart, you were charged with 1 count of giving a false name, which is a misdemeanor. I did review your case and, but for the evidence of having a pending charge in another location, I probably would have dismissed it, but it makes sense just given what they said, okay? That's not to say that this charge, you know, may be handled down the road differently, but I have enough evidence to move it forward, okay? The bond is $2,500, all right? It is a misdemeanor, so your next court date is June the 14th. If you bond out, then you don't have to attend that court date. If you're still incarcerated, either here or elsewhere, then they'll have to make arrangements for you to be brought over here. And then you can speak with an attorney as it relates to negotiating your case further or asking for a bond modification. Now, you did not fill out your paperwork, so I can only assume that you want to hire your own attorney. Is that correct?
No. Never mind. Yeah, I have my own.
Okay. You want to hire your own attorney? That's fine. I mean, the reason why I say that is because you had an opportunity, a long opportunity to fill out. So if you wanted a court-appointed attorney, you could have done so. If you change your mind later on down the road, then you just let the courts know and they'll process you for court-appointed counsel. So your next court date is June the 14th. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, good luck.
So I have a warrant in a different county, so like, how this gonna work? They're gonna have to wait till I get from here?
It could work with one of several ways. If you bond out, you may have a hold on you and they'll transfer you. If you don't bond out, at some point, whatever jurisdiction it is, if they want you, then they need to tell Clayton County they're going to come and get you. So the two counties just have to speak to each other.
Okay.
All right. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your full name, please?
Jasmine Williams.
All right, Miss Williams, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Let's see, that is a misdemeanor charge. The bond is going to be $3,500. Okay, you do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Ramel or Rommel Harris. Who is that to you?
Nobody.
Okay, well, whether previously or currently, y'all know each other, whatever the case may be, as of right now, that person doesn't exist in your world, okay? So if you violate your bond conditions, you could be brought back to the Clayton County Jail, face more charges, and then have no bond on the more serious charge. So, you know, again, whether you had a relationship with them or not, I don't know, doesn't matter to me. Just don't have any contact with them and don't pass along messages either through friends, family, or however you want to do it, because stuff always comes back around. Other than that, your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out, you do not have to go to that court date. If you do not bond out, then you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney and they can negotiate your case further, or they can ask for a bond modification. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want to have a court-appointed attorney?
You can appoint me.
Okay. I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case or your next court date?
No. You said on
Okay.
the 14th, right?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. All right. Well, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Raymond or Geary?
All right. Mr. Geary. One moment.
Bring it in, you got it. Bring it back.
So I thought it was gonna be like as long as we don't wait, but then we got on that.
All right, sorry about that, Mr. Geary. All right, Mr. Geary, you are charged with 2 misdemeanor counts. One of them is following too closely, and one of them is leaving the scene of an accident. They're both misdemeanors. On the following too closely, the bond is $500. On the hit and run, it's $1,500. So your total bond is $2,000. All right. Next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. If not, and you're still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to speak with a lawyer, and they can either negotiate your case further, or they can ask for some type of bond modification. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want to have a court-appointed attorney?
Appointed attorney.
Okay. That's fine. I will do that for you, sir. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Good luck to you.
Angel.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
Ricky Lee Angel.
All right, Mr. Angel, this is a very old charge. Kind of surprised that it came before me, but you were charged with 1 felony count of inmate in possession. The bond is $3,000. Your next court date is going to be June the 13th. If you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. If you do not bond out, 1 second, hold on. Your next court date is June the 13th. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. If you do not bond out, then you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney, and they can negotiate your case further, or they can ask for a bond modification. Now, do you have any questions? Or I'm sorry, do you want to have a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own?
I'd rather you appoint me one, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. I will do that for you. Now, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. You said the charge was what?
It's possession of marijuana while incarcerated at the Clayton County Prison. So my understanding is I know that you weren't physically on the prison property, but you were still under supervision of the state. And this stems back from September the 10th, 2019.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Very good. Good luck to you, Mr. Angel.
God bless you.
Barnwell.
I'm going left.
All right, sir. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Teflon Barnwell.
All right, Mr. Barnwell, you are charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling, 1 count of obstruction, and 1 count of criminal trespass. All of them are misdemeanors. Now, I am dismissing the loitering or prowling, and I am dismissing the obstruction charge. So 2 of your charges I'm going to dismiss. Now, later on down the road, the prosecutor's office could bring some of those back, or they could just leave them dismissed. I don't know. I just don't have enough evidence to charge you for hanging out where you were hanging out with those things without something further that you were doing something else. Okay. So the only charge that's left is the criminal trespass. The bond is $1,000. Now, the incident where this happened, do you live on that property?
Oh, I used to live next door to it.
Okay. Well, look, I'm going to put a special condition as part of your bond. Okay. So don't go back to 8082 Webb Road. That's in Riverdale, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So in order so you don't have any more problems with law enforcement or property management or anybody else, just don't go back to that property. Okay. If you go back to that property, you could find yourself back here with more serious charges and potentially not getting a bond. So this is a silly thing to be showing up at the Clayton County Jail for. You don't need, you're a grown man. You don't need to be coming to jail for hanging out at a property. It's just stay away from it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out, you do not have to go to that court date. If you are still incarcerated, then you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney, and they can negotiate your case further or ask for a bond modification. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want to have a court-appointed attorney?
A court-appointed attorney.
Okay. Now, it says here that you're employed. Approximately how much do you earn per month?
Oh no, I just started working there.
Okay. Give me your best estimate.
I'm gonna say close to like 1,000 to 2,000 a month.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna split the difference with you and say 1,500. I'm still gonna appoint you an attorney, but I just needed to get that information from you. Okay.
All right.
All right. So you'll get a copy of your bond. I will submit the dismissals on those other two charges once we're done here, and I can process and I can get my paperwork sent over to the jail. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir.
Blackman.
No. No. Hey. No.
Go, come on. Go.
Come on,
Sir,
y'all.
can you tell? Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Jaden Javon Blackman.
All right, Mr. Blackman, you are charged with one count of contributing to the delinquency or deprivation of a minor. I'm dismissing this case. I don't have any evidence that you knew that this other person was a minor. I don't have any evidence of what really was going on. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't provide more information and meet the elements of what they were trying to do. But based on what I have in front of me, I can't approve this case going forward. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I will tell you that, you know, you're a grown man. I don't know what it is that you were doing, but you need to act accordingly and be careful of who you're around and who you're dealing with. Whether it was an innocent mistake or not, it doesn't matter. You still ended up at least a night in the Clayton County Jail, which I imagine is not where you want to be.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, I don't know if this charge is ever going to come back, but I'm dismissing it.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Bullock. Cedric Bullock. Bullock. Choice, come on up. Choice.
Good morning, man.
All right, sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
All
right, Mr. Choice, give me just a moment. All right, sir, you are charged with 2 counts of cruelty to children, felony, 1 count of fleeing and eluding a felony, 1 misdemeanor count of child safety restraint, and 1 misdemeanor count of hit and run. All right. So on the cruelty to children charges, both of them, your bond is going to be $3,000. On the fleeing from police, your bond is going to be $2,000. On the child restraint violation is $500, and on leaving the scene is $1,500. So your total bond is 3, 6, 8. Total bond is $10,000. Okay. The special condition of your bond is to not violate any of the laws while out on bond. Okay. Your next court date is going to be June the 13th. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. All right. If you do not bond out, then you'll have an opportunity to speak to an attorney and they can negotiate your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
As of now, a court appointed.
Okay.
And is there any way we could work around a work release if I don't make bond?
That'll be something that you want to discuss with your lawyer because they can talk to the district attorney's office and they handle that stuff. I don't have the authority to really do that right now. Okay. All right. June the 13th. Do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Choice. Sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
Cedric Otis Bullock, sir.
All right, Mr. Bullock, you are charged with 2 counts, one of public indecency and 1 theft by taking. They're both misdemeanor charges, all right? So your bond on both charges is $2,000. So your total bond is $4,000. Now, you do have special conditions of part of your bond, okay? And I want you to pay attention to this. You're not to have any contact with I don't know how to say her first name, but A-N-A-N-A Bailey. Now, I'm assuming you don't even know who that person is, do you? Okay, all right, very good. And then you're not to go back to 581 Flint River Road in Riverdale. So the store that you were at, just don't go back there. If you need to do some shopping, go shop somewhere else, okay? And it's listed here for you, so just don't go back. Your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out of jail, then you do not have to appear for that court date. If you're still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to meet with a lawyer and they can negotiate your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Now, you did not fill out your paperwork, so do you want, that tells me that you want to hire your own lawyer. Do you want to hire your own lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay, you want to have a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there a reason why you didn't fill out your paperwork?
I filled it out, didn't
No, you did not. You signed it, but you didn't fill it out.
I?
So I have to ask you a couple questions. And I have to ask you these questions while we're live, which you could have avoided. Are you currently employed?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any money or cash in any savings account or anything like that? Yes or no?
Sir?
Do you have any cash in like a savings account or underneath a mattress or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you own any property?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you currently married?
No, sir.
Do you have any children?
No, sir.
All right. That's all that I need to know. All right. I will appoint an attorney for you. So if you are still incarcerated on June the 14th, you'll be able to meet with them and they will be able to talk to the solicitor's office and try to negotiate on your case. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Do you mind if I, is it a plea or something I can take and just get it over with, like 6-month plea or maybe?
So the answer to your question is yes. I'm sure there'll be a plea offered to you at some point, but today's not that day. I don't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I will want to thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Good day, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Yes, Byron Dexter Combs.
All right, Mr. Combs, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of DUI, 1 misdemeanor count of open container, and 1 misdemeanor count of improper lane change. I am going to grant a bond on this. On the DUI, the bond is $8,000. On the other 2 charges is $500 each. So your total bond is $9,000. Okay. Now, because they're misdemeanors, your next court date is going to be on June the 14th. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. However, if you are still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to meet with a lawyer who can negotiate your case further with the state and or ask for a bond modification. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney or would you like me to appoint one for you?
I would just like to have one appointed.
Okay, yes, sir. I will do that for you. Do you have any questions about your case or about your next court date?
The bond protocol, I call somebody today and get that process rolling. The one question I had, sir, I have my own money on my cards, my debit cards and stuff, but it's in holding. So would I be able to use that by any chance?
That's a good question. You know, you really need to, for example, if you had enough money to bond yourself out, you know, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it directly with the sheriff's department or you can use a bonding company. Now, in your situation, you need to talk to the people at the jail staff and see if you can call the bond company yourself and see if you can bond yourself out.
Okay.
Or if you have enough money, ask them the process of going straight through the sheriff's department. I don't know which one is best for your particular situation. But I'm sure that there are people who can bond themselves out if they just had access to their funds. So that's a question. Just ask the sheriff's deputies. I'm sure one of them can kind of point you in the right direction. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Can born genius.
All right, Mr. Genius, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of discharging a firearm near a roadway and 1 misdemeanor charge of battery. Again, they're both misdemeanors. I am going to set a bond. In the discharging of a firearm, the bond is $4,000, and the misdemeanor battery, the bond is $3,000. Now, you do have special conditions of your bond, so I need you to pay attention, okay? You're not to have any contact with Courtney Genius. Now, my understanding is that is your uncle. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, you know, just like I told everybody else, don't have any contact with your uncle until your case is completely resolved or another judge changes your bond conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do you live at the 284 Martin Drive address in Jonesboro?
Yes, sir.
All right. You cannot go back to that residence, but do you need to are there things there that you would want to get out of that residence?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, okay? And I'm putting it on your bond. You can go back there and get your stuff. However, you can't just show up with a piece of paper and say, the judge said I can come back and get my stuff. You have to do it the legal way and you have to do it the right way. So you need to take your paperwork to the sheriff's department and say, the judge told me I can go back. Please escort me over there. And they'll arrange a time to escort you over there so you can get all the things that you need to get out and you can get them out, okay? So don't go there by yourself. Make sure you do it the proper way so you can get your things out of there, okay? If you bond out your next court date, June the 14th, the preliminary hearing date, you won't need to appear for that. But if you are still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to speak to a lawyer and they can negotiate your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Do you have any questions? Oh, now you did not fill out your paperwork, so I can only assume that you want to hire your own attorney. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one?
I just want you to appoint one. I just put refuse because I didn't know if I didn't needed one or not, so I just put refuse on there. But yeah, I want to get one.
I got you. All right. Well, you know, I have to ask you some questions. All right. Just like I asked the other gentleman.
How much was it in all again?
7,000.
Okay.
All right. Now, are you currently employed?
No, sir. I have my own business.
Okay. Approximately how much do you make every single month? Just an estimate.
Like 1,500.
Okay. Do you own any property?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you married?
No, sir.
Do you have any children?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever served in the military?
No, sir.
All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and appoint an attorney for you. And so on the 14th, if you're bonded out, again, you don't have to show up. If not, then the attorney will meet with you and they'll be able to discuss your case. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
Hansen.
Hello.
All right, sir. Can you tell me your full name, please?
It's Ricky Hansen.
All right, Mr. Hansen, you are charged with 1 count of terroristic threats, which is a misdemeanor. The bond on your case is going to be $3,500. Now, you do have special conditions as part of your bond, all right? And so I want you to pay attention. You're not to have any contact with Mary Hansen and Roy Kitchens, okay?
Understood.
And then also, I don't want you to return back to the 8239 Lakeview Terrace address. Is that where you were living at, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Do you want an opportunity to get your belongings from that residence?
Yes, sir. I moved everything that day, and then when the officers locked me up, they made me leave my wallet and my car keys and my last bag of clothes.
Okay.
Made me leave it there.
All right. Well, then, just like I told the last gentleman, I'm going to allow you to go back and get your stuff, but just don't show up on your own with a piece of paper. Make sure you do it through the sheriff's department. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Your next court date is going to be June the 14th. But if you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date. If you are still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to meet with a lawyer and they can discuss your case further with the state and or ask for a bond modification. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want to me to appoint one? Okay. All right, I will do that for you, sir. Do you have any other questions?
No, you said my bond's 3,000?
3,500.
But I have like I said, my credit cards are at the property where they locked me up from and made me leave my credit card there.
So just if you think that you can bond out with your own funds, you just need to talk to the sheriff's department and ask them how to go about using your own funds to do it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, hold up.
All right, sir. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Yeah, my name Charles Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones. You were charged with one count of possession of a handgun under the age of 18.
Yes, sir.
Your birthday is on the 19th, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you waited just a little bit longer than 2 weeks, I don't think that they could charge you with a crime. However, you know, I have to follow the law and the law is the law, okay? It is a misdemeanor charge. The bond is $3,000. All right. Your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date, okay? If you're still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to meet with the lawyer and they can discuss your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want to
my own? No, I'm the court attorney. I filled out the paper and stuff again.
Yes, you did. I got it. Thank you for doing that. You know, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the news recently about guns and people in possession of guns and things like that. So, you know, listen, man, you are approaching the age of adulthood, or if not, you're pretty much already there. So you will learn very quickly that as you get older, you have a lot of responsibilities to govern yourself as an adult and be a productive man and citizen of wherever it is that you're living. Okay. It doesn't say that you did anything wrong other than being in possession of it. So it's on you to know what the laws are. You have to educate yourself sometimes, but you know, be very careful of what you do, because as you can see that, you know, at any point in time, there could be you find yourself in situations in where you're getting locked up and it's not the place to be, especially at such a young age. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
Could I get a bond payment like plan?
So just like I told everybody else, right? There are two ways that you can bond out. Number one, you can go directly through the sheriff's department, or number two, you can use a bonding company. Okay. I don't know. Typically, the bonding company charges 15 to 20%. So on $3 grand, you're looking at $450 plus if there are any fees or anything. But you'll just have to either get in contact with them or use a friend or family member to do that process for you. Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right. Good luck to you.
All right. The bond now.
3,000.
All right.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Demetrius Milner.
All right, Mr. Milner, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. I don't have the legal evidence to keep this charge, so I'm dismissing it. It doesn't mean that you did something right. It doesn't mean that you did something wrong. It's just all the I's are not dotted and all the T's are not crossed. So I cannot legally, I don't feel comfortable moving forward with this case against you. So I'm going to dismiss it. Just like I told everybody else, later on down the road, these charges could come back. I don't know whether they will or not, okay? But I just have to make you aware of it. They have 4 years for the statute of limitations. So do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
You think? You. No, man. One of this.
Good morning, Judge. Your Honor, sorry.
Good morning, sir. All right, can you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Christopher Eugene Mullen Jr.
All right, Mr. Mullenex, you are charged with 2 counts, both of them misdemeanors. The first count is stalking and the second one is criminal trespass. I am going to grant a bond in your case, okay? The bond on the stalking charge is going to be $7,500. The bond on the criminal trespass is going to be $2,500. Your total bond is $10,000, okay? You do have special conditions of your bond, so I want you to pay I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're not to have any contact with Stacy Florestal. Who is that to you?
If I may, Your Honor, Stacy Florestal is a former business partner who I had a sexual relationship with.
All right, that's all I need to know. All right.
But with that being said, I was never near Ms. Florestal.
Listen, remember what I said at the very beginning. Now's not the time to tell me the facts of your case, all right? You've been very respectful to me, and so I want to respect your rights, okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't tell me anything about your case. Save it for the lawyer, okay?
Yes, sir.
I can't do anything about it other than tell you what your bond amount is and when your next court date is, all right?
Yes, sir.
So if you have defenses, and you may, share it with them, all right?
Yes,
now, the special condition of your bond is to not have any contact with Miss Stacy Florestal. Now, let me tell you what that means. That means that you can't speak to her. You can't write her an email. You can't send her a text message, an Instagram DM, a Facebook DM, a WhatsApp message. You can't send flowers. You can't have any contact. So for your life right now, I've already signed this. She does not exist in your world. She's gone.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
All right.
Can I add one more thing, Mark? No, as far as the conditions?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yes, sir.
Now, the restriction is not on her. If she tries to get in contact with you, do not respond, because even if she contacts you, she's like, hey, Christopher, I want you to come over. Come on over. And then you do it. Guess what? You're getting locked up. I want you to understand the severity of the situation. You're in front of me, not her.
Yes, sir.
So whatever manipulation that you can imagine that she could pull over you, that's why I'm telling you, like Thanos, snap your fingers, she does not exist.
Absolutely.
Okay. Also, do not go upon the property of 1370 Crest Ridge Lane in Riverdale. That's not where you live, is it?
Actually, I never did live there.
Good. Perfect. Then there's no reason for you to go there. We're in agreement. Now, your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out of jail, you do not need to go to that court date. If you do not bond out of jail, you'll have an opportunity to speak with a lawyer, which you probably want to do very badly. And you can, and they'll be able to speak with the state to negotiate your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Now, before I ask you if you have any questions, do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
One, sir.
I'm sorry?
Appoint one, sir.
Got it. Okay. I will grant that request, Mr. Mullenex. Now, remembering what I told you, do you have any questions about your case or your bond?
Yes, sir. Ms. Florestal is currently at my house, my residence, and she's been going back and forth
So I never knew any of this even happened. I didn't know I had a warrant for my arrest for this. I'm a transporter and I don't even see her or talk to her or hear anything from her.
Okay, good.
No.
I understand. So if you go return to your residence and she's there, then you need to figure out a way to legally, right? Legally, you might want to speak to an attorney, go in Jonesboro. There's tons of attorneys around there and try to get a consultation with them and talk about your options. Okay.
Yes,
but if she's at Walmart and you see her, you need to turn around and go to a different Walmart. If
Yes,
she's at Kroger, you need to turn around and go to Publix, okay? Because the restriction is not on her, it's on you.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I don't know the history between you two. It seems like, as you said, you're in a relationship, but, you know, we have, my role is to protect the citizens of Clayton County. And so I have to put restrictions in place that I think are reasonable and that are going to achieve that goal. So listen, you're a grown man. You seem like a very intelligent person. Just govern yourself according to the rules of this bond order and the laws of Georgia, and you'll be all right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
I was briefly Hansen. I just think that. Okay, did that come up?
All right, sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Eddie Robert Poole.
All right, Mr. Poole, you are charged with one count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $5,000. One count of cruelty to children, bond is $5,000, and then one count of aggravated assault. At this time, I'm not going to grant a bond on the aggravated assault charge. So your case is going to be set for preliminary hearing on June the 13th. At that time, you'll be able to speak with an attorney and they can negotiate your case further and they can or ask for a bond modification at that time. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Appoint one for me.
Okay, I will do that for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
Could you read the bond again?
Yes. So for the battery charge, the bond is $5,000. For the cruelty to children charge, the bond is $5,000. On the aggravated assault, I did not set a bond.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And you said June
13th. 1-3.
All right,
Yes, sir. Good luck. All right, sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
Andrew Jacob Powell.
All right, Mr. Powell, you are charged with 2 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act and 1 count of use or possession of a drug-related object. The VGCSA counts are both felonies. The bond is $2,500 each. The misdemeanor use or possession of a drug-related object, the bond is $1,000. So you have the same exact bond as your co-defendant, the young lady that I spoke with. So your total bond is $6,000. Your next court date is June the 13th for a preliminary hearing. If you bond out of jail, you do not need to appear for that court date. If you do not bond out of jail, then you'll be able to speak with an attorney and they can negotiate your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Appoint one.
All right. I will do that for you. Now, it's not a part of your bond condition, but I would highly recommend to not have any contact with anybody that was involved in that incident with you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Markel Quinn.
All right, Mr. Quinn, you are charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. Give me just a moment. All right, at the time, I'm not going to grant a bond on this particular charge. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be June the 13th. At that time, you'll be able to speak with a lawyer. They'll be able to negotiate with the state your case even further and or ask for a bond modification. You didn't fill out the paperwork. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
No, sir. No attorney is needed, sir.
Okay, do you want to represent yourself?
Can I ask a quick question, sir? As far what's the reason behind the no bond thing?
Sure. So based on the evidence that I have, and again, this is not an opportunity for us to go over the facts of your case, but just based on the evidence that I have, I did not feel comfortable setting a bond in this case. It doesn't mean that another judge would feel differently, or if more facts are known and that's why you're able to get an attorney, they can flesh out the facts of the case and talk to the state about it. But just based on what I have in front of me. So do you want to hire your own attorney, represent yourself, or have a court-appointed attorney?
Is the charge a felony or misdemeanor, sir?
It is a felony, sir.
It's a felony?
Yes, sir.
Let's go and appoint an attorney.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get a little bit of information from you because it wasn't provided to me, okay?
Yes, sir. I wasn't aware if the charge was a felony or not, so.
I understand, no worries. Now, are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Approximately how much do you earn per month?
About 35 to 4,000 a month.
Do you have any children?
Yes, sir. I have 3.
Are they all under the age of 18?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently married?
We I was engaged. No, sir. Single.
Got it. Okay. Do you own any real estate?
No, sir.
Okay. Were you ever part of the military?
Yes, sir. United States Marines.
Okay. From what year to what year?
2013 to 2020. I think it was a 6-year contract. 2013 to 2019.
Got it. Okay. All right, I will appoint an attorney for you, and I did mark on your paperwork about the military service. So there may be resources when you speak to the attorney, there may be resources available to you because of that, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any other questions?
No, that's it, sir.
All right, good luck to you. All right, sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
Simeon Robinson.
What's that?
Simeon Robinson.
Oh, Mr. Robinson. Okay, very good. Just want to make sure I have the right person. All right, Mr. Robinson. You're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. It is a felony. I am going to grant a bond in this case. The bond is going to be $3,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be June the 13th. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. If you are still incarcerated, you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney and they can discuss your case further with the state and or ask for a bond modification. Would you like to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
You put one for me?
Yes, sir. I will do that.
Can I see some of my case?
No. I don't want to know the facts of your case, okay? If you want to ask me a question about your bond or your court date, you can do that. But if you want to tell me anything about where you were going, who you were with, how much it was, why the officer illegally stopped you, if you want to say anything like that, don't say it, okay?
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
All right. Now, with that being said, do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, very good. Good luck to you, sir.
Thompson.
All right, sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
Thompson.
All right, Mr. Thompson, you are charged with 2 misdemeanors, the first being battery, family violence. Your bond is $3,500. The disorderly conduct, the bond is $1,500. So your total bond, sir, is $5,000. You do have special conditions of your bond. Special conditions is to not have any contact with Norris Thompson, okay? And also to not return to the 641 Owen Drive address in Forest Park. Is that where you were living, sir? You have to speak up.
Yes, well.
Okay. Do you need an opportunity to go to that address and get your belongings?
No, that's no big deal.
Okay, all right then. Your next court date is going to be June the 14th. If you bond out, you will not need to appear for that court date. If you're still incarcerated, then you're have an opportunity to speak to an attorney and they can negotiate your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Do you want to have an appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own? You said appointed?
Appointed.
Okay, I will do that for you. All right, do you have any questions? All right, good luck to you. One more.
Williams.
Williams. All right, sir, can you tell me your full name, please?
Mario Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you are charged with 1 count of terroristic threats or acts. It is a felony charge. I am going to grant a bond. The bond amount is $4,000. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, you do have a special condition of your bond, so I want you to pay very special attention to this.
Sir,
Okay?
I don't even know those people. Never seen them. Never met.
Don't tell me that. Okay. If you have a defense, that's great. Save it for your lawyer. Okay. All right. I'm just telling you, if you don't know those people, then this is going to be very simple for you. Be very easy. Do not have any contact with Christopher or Marcus McCrae. If you don't know who that is, perfect. All right. If you don't know where they are, who they are, or anything like that, then it'll be very easy for you not to have any contact with them. Okay. But if messages appear from a phone number that's linked to you, that's a problem. If messages or word gets back to them and it's allegedly coming from you, then that's a problem. Okay. So they don't exist in your world. All right. You're grown up just like the other gentlemen and women that I spoke with. Act accordingly. Okay. Again, if you don't know who they are, perfect. But you don't want to end up here on some stuff that's quite frankly silly for you to be here for. This is not a good reason. There's no real good reason to be in jail, but this is an even worse reason to be here. You don't need to be here. You need to be out being productive, okay? Taking care of yourself. If you have a family, taking care of them, not here. So that's the condition. Just don't have any contact with them. Internet, don't have friends reach out to them. Nothing like that, okay? There should not be any more alleged communication that comes from you their way, all right? Your next court date is going to be June the 13th. If you have bonded out, then you don't need to appear for that court date. If not, then you'll have an opportunity to speak with an attorney and they can go over the case with the prosecutors and negotiate your case further and or ask for a bond modification. Do you want to have a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own? Okay, then I will do that for you. All right. Now, without telling me the facts of your case or the defenses, do you have any questions?
The bond, just the percent of the bond for that 4,000, like 15% what I end up paying, like 400, 450 to get out.
Let's see, bond is 4,000, 10% is 400, plus they're gonna want some fee. Let's see, 15%, 400, half of that is 600, plus whatever fees. I don't know, man. A conservative estimate would probably say about $750, but that's just doing quick math off the top of my head. I'm not a mathematician, I'm a lawyer.
Right, thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Oh, sir, you have a great day.
All right, sir, good luck to you. Anyone else?
No, Your Honor, that's gonna be everybody on the calendar for today.
All right, well, I appreciate everyone's coordination and getting started a little bit early. I'm gonna end the transmission and I will send out the calendar, Ms. Thomas, and I will get the committal documents and the court-appointed applications to the appropriate people. Y'all have a good day.
Yes, Judge. Great job.
All right.
You
y'all
rolled them out.
That's how we do it, Ms. Thomas. We got things to do.
Yes, yes. All right. So I'll be looking for that calendar.